The atmosphere inside the auction hall was thick with anticipation as the lights dimmed and the spotlight centered on a car that defined an entire generation of automotive excellence. We are witnessing a historic moment in the collector car world as a pristine Ferrari Enzo has officially crossed the auction block, shattering previous price records and setting a new high watermark for what many consider to be the ultimate analog hypercar. In an era where hybrid systems and electric motors are becoming the norm, the raw, unfiltered scream of a naturally aspirated V12 engine still commands the highest level of respect and, as we have seen today, the highest possible price tag. This record-breaking sale is not just about the exchange of currency. It is a testament to the enduring legacy of a vehicle that was named after the founder of the most famous racing stable in history. To understand why this specific sale is so significant, we must first look back at what the Enzo represented when it was first introduced at the turn of the millennium. It was the fourth installment in Ferrari's legendary lineage of flagship supercars, following the 288 GTO, the F40, and the F50. However, the Enzo was a different beast entirely. It was a rolling laboratory of Formula One technology, bringing advanced aerodynamics, carbon fiber construction, and an F1-inspired gearbox to the streets in a package that looked like nothing else on the road. The design, penned by Ken Okayama at Pininfarina, was polarizing at the time because it prioritized function over traditional beauty, featuring a pointed nose reminiscent of a Grand Prix car and active aerodynamic flaps that adjusted on the fly to keep the car glued to the tarmac. The heart of this masterpiece is the legendary Type F140B engine, a 6.0-liter V12 that produced 651 horsepower without the help of turbochargers or superchargers. It was, at its release, the most powerful naturally aspirated engine in a production car, and the sound it produces at its redline remains one of the most intoxicating mechanical symphonies ever created. The specific Enzo that sold today was an exceptional example of this engineering prowess, showing remarkably low mileage on the odometer and presenting in a condition that can only be described as showroom fresh. In the world of high-end collecting, provenance and condition are everything, and this car possessed both in spades, having been meticulously maintained by a single owner for much of its life, and retaining all of its original documentation, toolkits, and luggage. As the bidding began, it was clear that this was not going to be a standard transaction. The numbers climbed rapidly, jumping in six-figure increments as collectors from around the globe battled via telephone and internet links. The auctioneer struggled to keep pace with the flurry of bids as the price surpassed the $4 million mark, then the $5 million mark, eventually settling at a final figure that left the room in a stunned silence before erupting into applause. This record price reflects a broader trend in the 2026 automotive market, where the most iconic internal combustion vehicles are being viewed as blue-chip investments, similar to fine art or rare real estate. For many, the Enzo represents the final chapter of a certain type of driving experience, one that is physically demanding, mentally taxing, and infinitely rewarding. Inside the cockpit of the Enzo, the connection to Formula One is undeniable. The steering wheel is littered with buttons and lights that signal the optimal shift points, a feature that was revolutionary in 2002. There are no carpets to hide the carbon fiber tub, and the leather bucket seats are designed to hold the driver firmly in place during high-speed cornering. Every element of the interior was designed to save weight and maximize focus. This raw, purposeful environment is exactly what modern collectors are looking for. As current supercars become more computerized and isolated, the directness of the Enzo becomes more valuable. You feel every vibration of the V12 through the chassis, and the lightning-fast shifts of the Graziano automated manual gearbox provide a mechanical kick that modern dual-clutch systems have smoothed away. The rarity of the Enzo also played a massive role in this record-breaking sale. Originally, Ferrari planned to produce only 349 units, but due to overwhelming demand from their most loyal customers, they eventually increased production to 399. A final 400th car was built specifically as a gift for Pope John Paul II, which was later auctioned for charity. This extremely limited production run ensures that the Enzo will always be a rare sight, and finding one in the specific color combination and condition of today's record setter is nearly impossible. While many Enzos were finished in the classic Rosa Corsa red, this sale highlights that even within a limited production run, there are tiers of desirability that can drive prices to astronomical levels. Comparing the Enzo to its contemporaries, such as the Porsche Carrera GT or the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, it is easy to see why the Ferrari has taken the lead in terms of market valuation. While the Porsche is lauded for its manual transmission and V10 howl, and the SLR for its grand touring capabilities, the Enzo has the direct link to the Scuderia Ferrari racing heritage that no other brand can match. It was the car that bridged the gap between the legendary F40 and the hybrid LaFerrari, serving as a crucial link in the evolution of the brand. For the person who placed the winning bid today, they are not just buying a car, they are buying a piece of history that represents the absolute pinnacle of Ferrari's capabilities at the start of the 21st century. Looking forward, this sale will undoubtedly send shockwaves through the classic car market. It raises the ceiling for other halo cars and will likely lead to an increase in asking prices for F40s and F50s as well. As we move deeper into the 2020s and the transition to electric mobility accelerates, the desire for these mechanical masterpieces will only grow. The Enzo is more than just a fast car. It is a monument to the internal combustion engine and a tribute to the man who started it all. Today's record sale proves that while technology may change, our passion for soul-stirring performance and legendary design is as strong as it has ever been. It was a day to remember for Ferrari fans and a clear indication that the Enzo is and always will be a king among supercars.